times twice. We are going to continue on and pick Jace. Cameron. I'm quite interested for this one. A glance at my phone reminds me why. I've got at least a dozen messages all from Cameron. Why did I think that giving Cameron my number was a good idea? It's become even more obnoxious now. I should have said no to watching a basketball game with him. Why does it have to be on a Saturday afternoon? What? That's a decent time! Sighing, I dragged myself out of bed and towards the bathroom. Half an hour later, I went in the living room ready to go. God, I'm tired. What are you doing up so early? Oh, is this the same? Okay. Cameron's forcing me to watch a basketball game with them. Support team spirit and bullshit like that. Is he dragging or carrying you? He has enough muscles to do the latter at least. Honestly, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't hesitate to carry me if I tried to resist. I don't have a choice anymore. Is it a date? It's not a date. I put on the most incredulous expression I could muster. With Cameron? He is pretty interested in you. He's interested in everything and everyone. Good looking, including you, by the way. And yet he's asking you out. He didn't ask me out. Annoying me until I accompany him is not asking someone out. The doorbell rings and I put my phone away while standing up. For a moment, I simply stare at the ceiling and wonder what I'm doing with my life. Ugh. Have fun. You too, whatever mysterious thing you're planning on doing today. I open the door and am greeted by a wave of cold air. Cameron is leaning against the wall as if he's reenacting a scene from a romance manga. He's wearing sunglasses even though there's absolutely no reason for him to wear them in this weather. It's not that bright outside, you know. Good morning to you too. Yes, I've slept well. Thanks. I also think I look nice today. Go ahead and continue with your one-man show. He tries to glance past me into the house, but I pull the door shut. Is your sister at home as well? Why are you asking? Seeing you two together is a picture of pure beauty. I was hoping to say hi. Hands off her. I can do that. How about hands on you instead? Cameron snickers and tries to wrap an arm around my shoulder. I would push it away. I'm used to being close to Adrian, but Cameron is a different story. I'm not used to it. And I don't really want to get used to it either. Can you not? I can hold your hand instead if that's better. Actually, the shoulder isn't that bad. Come on, we're late already. Stop messing around. Cameron responds by throwing me one of his helmets. And, oh my god, are you like a motorcycle biker? And putting the second one on his own head, sorry, while he sits down on his motorcycle. I look at the bike, sighing deeply before I get on and wrap my arms around him. Maybe I should get my own license. Aren't bikes great? People have to stick to you whether they want to or not. I'm happy you're acknowledging the fact that I don't like this. However, I'm a bit worried about how well you'll be driving if your goal is to get me to cling to you. No worries, if there's one thing I won't do, it's playing around with your safety. It's a different story when I'm on my own. So you do drive wildly. I mean, just look at him. He looks like he does that. Cameron holds true to his words. He drives well, and I relax my grip a bit. There are a lot of people inside the gym hall when we arrive. Everyone is finding a place to sit while Cameron happily wanders off to a corner right next to the field and I follow. He greets the team with bear hugs and secret handshakes. It should be a good game. They practice a lot. I glance around, taking in the stares from the people around us. I wonder how many of them will try asking for our number over the course of the game. As it turns out, a lot. While I avoid being too rude but still reject them, Cameron ends up with a whole list. I raise an eyebrow at his almost sheepish face when he scrolls through them. Do you even remember who is who? You flirt? Nope. Honestly, I didn't want to accept everyone, but you saw what it was like. They came in swarms. If I had only accepted a few, I'd have hurt others. I'm not even sure if that makes me better or worse. Come on, it's not like I sleep around with everyone. I'd have preferred just accepting a few of those numbers instead of all. On the other hand, it would be a shame if I missed out on a good one because I rejected them all, like you did. Or did you reject them because you can't think about anyone other than me? He throws me a flirty wink and I roll my eyes. You'd be such a good person if you only stopped doing stuff like that. But it's part of my personality. You'd be such a good person with another personality. Ouch. I chuckle when he clutches his chest and mock pain. Ah, you finally laughed. Alright, I'm tired, okay? This game was way too early for me. As if on cue, I can feel a yawn welling up. I rub my eyes and groan. You like sleeping long? I'd reverse my day-night cycle if I could. Usually I'd be eating breakfast right about now. I guess I get up earlier than you in that case. How do you survive the morning classes when you're like that? Adrian. The guy who sticks to you all day? Yeah, we're kind of like brothers. We've known each other since forever. He drags me around and makes sure I don't fall asleep, or at least am not found out. Huh, I always thought he looked like your butler. Now that we learned that Adrian cleans up and like helps us with our homework and everything, it sounds like a butler. If I'm completely honest, he kind of is. It takes a lot to endure such a spoiled brother like myself. I'm lucky mine is so cute. Cameron's lips form a soft, almost gentle smile. His gaze isn't turned towards me. He is staring into nowhere, maybe thinking about his sibling. You've got a brother? Yeah, still a kid though. He's pretty adorable. Are you sure you don't spoil him? Because you sound like the perfectly doting brother type right now. I don't spoil him. You sound certain, but his words only make me doubt him more. I don't believe you. I'm serious. Do you have a photo of him? Sure, look! He has his phone whipped out so quickly that I'm not even sure where he had it. Looking at the gallery full of family photos spewing their love at me, I lift both brows. Okay. Really is talented. I bet he'll join a basketball club later when he's older. Oh, here he is wearing one of my old uniforms. Uh-huh. I understand. You're the type to spoil your brother. The guy with a photo devoted only to his brother should be quiet. I bet you have a photo of your sister too. Of Hazel? God, no. What would I want with those? I do have a few nice photos stored away though. Still, I never cared to fill an entire folder. I have a lot of pictures with all of my family together, but mostly because my parents love photos. I don't think I've met your parents before. Not that you had a reason to. What are they like? He sounds genuinely interested, so I actually answer him after thinking about how to reply for a moment. We're learning more about our family through Jace's row. Not human. What? Seriously, they're not normal. It's hard to explain, but if you ever meet them, you'll know what I mean. They're lovely, but they're simply aliens. It sounds incredibly fun. How about I stay over at your place soon and get to know them? Next week sounds good. I am really worried that you will introduce yourself as my boyfriend, so no. If you're worried about that, there's a perfect way to alleviate your worries. Which would be to actually be his boyfriend. Become my boyfriend. That way it's not a lie. No. I shove him away but find myself laughing anyway. Back on topic. If you usually eat breakfast around this time, have you eaten yet today? Nope. I'm not really hungry this early, so I can go for quite a while before I start feeling queasy. It's kind of time for lunch, but maybe we should drop by somewhere and get you something to eat. Then again, if you faint, I will have an excuse to carry you. I see that you're starting to find the correct way to convince me to do things. Let's find some food. It's a bit depressing that the correct way includes me as a punishment. Shed it, you notorious flirt. You don't take me seriously at all, do you? Not the slightest bit. You messed that chance up for yourself after about a day after we met. Karen narrows his eyes thoughtfully and hums. After a couple of seconds, he seems to remember. Was that when I accidentally forgot that we were supposed to play a practice game and went on a date instead? A single day after you told me that you take basketball seriously. Yep. Also, about a couple of hours after telling me how interesting one of the girls in your class is and not the one you were on a date with. What the fuck? Fair enough. He shrugs. I forgot about the game, honestly. As for the date, it's hard to tell whether you might be interested in someone unless you give it a try, right? Although I guess you don't agree, considering I don't think I've ever heard of you going on a date before. I've been on some, but not very seriously. I don't think it's good to give people hope when it might not work out. Moreover, I prefer being interested in someone before I start going on dates with them, rather than expecting the dates to result in an interest. Well, that's pretty much the opposite of what I think. It's your life. It doesn't concern me how you go about it. This time, it's my turn to shrug. Come on, don't I at least count as a friend? He puts a charming smile on his face as if he's selling himself. I deliberately drag the silence for a while. Kinda. You just watch. I'll have you wrapped around my finger in no time. I believe I've told you before, I don't date guys. You sure? Not interested. Absolutely sure. Yep. I bet you would date a guy if you liked him, you know. You do know that's not how sexuality works. You do know that I'm doubting your sexuality. You are officially just as terrible as Hazel. I'm taking that as a compliment. Your sister is gorgeous, talented, intelligent, and attractive. You've only met her once. Well, I'm sure she is like that. After all, you compared her to me. So in the end, he said, blowing his own horn. Whenever I think you're on the peak of being obnoxious, you manage to add another bit on top. How do people endure you? Well, He spreads his arms as he continues to walk. Somewhere along the lines, I've simply started following him. You're still walking with me, right? I stopped dead in my tracks and stare him down for a second. You're staring him down. He's shorter than you. I take a deep breath before turning on my heels to walk back to the campus. Cameron laughs and quickly moves to stand in my way. Don't be like that. I'll buy you breakfast. I prefer paying for my own food. Fine, but stop being so grumpy and come along. Once again, he wraps an arm around my shoulder and to turn me around. Before I can push it away, he takes it down himself. I'm starting to get a bit hungry. It should be alright to spend some more time with him. Since I'm not in the mood to sit down, we only get some snacks and take a walk around the area as I chew. Cameron devours his food in a few large bites. Looks like you were the hungry one. I'm always hungry. I'm a tall, growing young man. Why wouldn't I be? Excuse you? I'm a tall, growing young man as well, but I don't eat like a starving dog. It's extra centimeters I've got more than you that make the difference. Your head is full of nonsense. When is the next practice game? In 2 weeks. Oh, they said they'd be happy if you had time to help out again. You're a great filler for the opposing team. The club regularly splits into several teams that practice against each other. Since both Cameron and I aren't part of the usual setup, we're good opponents. I was invited to the team before, but I declined. I prefer playing with them like this once in a while, or with others from my classes. Sure thing. It's fun, and it's nice to see them getting better. They won today, but not by a lot. Perfect. I like playing against you. It's less boring if you're on the other team. So even he agrees that's more fun if we're playing against rather than with each other. Just drop me a message when they need me, or tell me directly if you see each other. I'll come by personally, of course. Why would I lose a chance to see your pretty face? I will never understand your need to flirt with a guy. Guys are good too. I don't mind dating a guy. What a coincidence. I mind. He rubs his chin and strikes an overly feminine pose. What if I was a girl? It goes back to no impulsive face. Yeah, exactly. I agree with your expression. That was an uncomfortable image. Let's forget that ever happened. I think it sucked. Ill. Sorry, I think I need to go home and, I don't know, watch a bad movie. Anything to overwrite that image. Sounds like a great idea. I'll drive you home though. Alright. I don't refuse this offer. It's more comfortable to go by bike anyway. Once we were back at the campus, we get on his motorbike and silence falls over us again. I let him concentrate while driving and enjoy the ride. Thanks for driving me back. It's the least I could do after waking you up so early. You poor thing. See you soon? Probably, whether I want to or not. I smirk at him and he laughs. I can only dimly see his face through the helmet, but it looks like he's smiling as well. See ya! He gives me another nod before driving off. I watch his bike grow smaller as it drives down the street before unlocking the front door and heading back inside. Cameron's route for sure always makes me laugh, so I feel like his route is going to be quite enjoyable, and I feel like Adrian's route is probably going to hit me the hardest. But anywho, we have 2 more routes to go. It's going to be Zoe and Stephanie with Jace. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.